Like I said, when I seen this rack out there, I was really feeling good. I took some time and thanked the Lord for this one, and yeah, he made me feel good.
Your Upper Michigan Chevy dealers and TV6 presents the 6th annual Big Buck Bonanza. Now let's go to the Holiday Inn in Marquette and the host of the Big Buck Bonanza, TV6's own Buck Levasseur.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 6th annual Big Buck Bonanza. We're here at the Holiday Inn in Marquette, and tonight we're going to take a look at some of the most beautiful bucks taken in the UP. We're going to be awarding some great prizes. Now, you know the Big Buck Bonanza, the scoring process is pretty simple, and that's for a reason, because if we went to, say, Boone and Crockett or any of the other scoring systems, it would be too complicated for each of the dealerships. So we've went to a very simple scoring process, and it works. The bucks registered in the Big Buck Bonanza are examined by each dealer's designated scorer. Now, the score is determined by adding the total number of antler points that are 1 inch or better to the measurement of the inside spread. Now, in case of a tie, the winner is determined by the largest circumference found at the base of the beam. Well, now you've seen the scoring process. Let's take a look at the history of the Big Buck Bonanza, and with me is Chris Brooks. Chris, 6th annual Bonanza, and every year it gets better. Look at those racks over there, and we're going to be seeing the successful hunters here in just a minute, but boy, it's come a long way, hasn't it?
Yeah, it sure has, Buck. We started this Big Buck Bonanza 6 years ago, like you said. Thanks to the Upper Michigan Chevy dealers who execute this program. We thought of the idea a long time ago that if we could find a truck dealer who would want to get involved with deer hunters, and 35 to 37% of people in Upper Michigan deer hunt, and we know all those people drive a truck, and a lot of those people drive Chevy trucks. We figured if we could bring them into the dealership, it might be a real good tie-in, and we found the perfect sponsor. They do a real nice job.
They sure do, and they really get into it, too. Knowing all the dealers and some of the people that work at the dealerships, they really love seeing those bucks come in.
Oh, they do. I drive by Chevy dealers all the time, and I stop in, and when they're scoring the bucks, when they're registering the bucks, there's a lot of talking about hunting going on, and a lot of talking about trucks also. So it's a good place for the service guys. You see the service guys and the sales guys talking together. Even the owner once in a while. We've had even a couple owners and sales managers try to win the contest, but it's kind of like quit to win. So. Yeah,
I know I couldn't win, at least not the rate I'm going this year. How about you?
Not with that buck that you shot this year.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, it's invisible is what it is. It's not there, right? At least, yeah, he's still out there. But anyway, the scoring process, as we saw, has changed. We really simplified it, and that was for a good reason. And because of that, over the years, the bucks have got a little better. Last year, some nice bucks, and this year, look at that crop.
Yeah, I think the bucks are getting bigger in this contest. There's always a couple of real big ones, but there's some monsters this year. There's an 8-point back there that looks like it came from Saskatchewan or Alberta, and some of the deers that the Weigel shot are just massive. But I think there's a lot of hunters out there also passing spikes and forks every year, and those deer are getting to be 2.5, 3.5 years old and turning into bigger deer.
Well, mentioning that, the department has announced that the preliminary figures, the deer kill is up 5% this year. Last week I had a chance to talk with DNR Region 1 biologist John Hendrickson about this past deer season.
Right now we're looking at about 42,000 bucks being taken in the UP and about 11,000 antlerless deer. We haven't summarized the information on number of 1.5 year and older deer yet, but most of the check stations report good numbers of 1.5 year old bucks, which I think is what we expected and shows good recruitment 1.5 year ago and pretty good overwinter survival. We also had a lot of people reporting a lot of fawns, a lot of antlerless deer being seen in the woods, so if we have a moderate winter this year, we should be looking at another pretty good season for next year.
You think there's been any great impact in the 2-buck law with regard to those 1.5 years?
One thing that I've heard from a lot of hunters that have brought their deer in is the number of spikes and fork horns that they've passed on. And of course that means that we're going to have a few more older bucks out there next year. It's a hunter's choice on whether or not they want to do that, but I think it bodes well for hunting and shows a lot of concern on the hunter's part.
Well, as far as safety is concerned, hunters in the Upper Peninsula showed a great deal of responsibility in the handling of firearms.
It's excellent this year. We're looking at the statewide totals. I think it shook out as 3 fatalities for the state of Michigan associated with firearms deer season. There was a little hype earlier that there was 14 or so fatalities, 11 heart attacks. I guess we don't look at heart attacks as being a deer hunting related fatality. It's no more than a car accident when somebody in orange in the front seat. But as far as safety-wise, the hunters did an excellent job this year. We had about 11 injuries and 3 fatalities. Only had 1 fatality in the UP and no injuries. And I'm just real pleased with the hunters' caution that they used out there and the safety they exhibited.
Well, stick around. We'll get started with our Chevy dealer winners following these messages. Welcome back to the Upper Michigan Chevy Dealers Big Buck Bonanza. We're here at the Holiday Inn, and you know, over the years, this is the 6th year, and I've noticed that first few years we gave away guns, we gave away some prizes, but the prizes have become much more valuable over the years. And well, here's a look at what we're giving away tonight. The highest scoring buck registered at each one of the 13 Upper Michigan Chevy Dealers wins a Remington Model 700 bolt action 30-06 rifle. Now, the top buck of the 13 dealers also takes home the grand prize of a Boss snowplow. In addition, just for registering, hunters qualified for a number of other prizes, including 13 CVA 50 caliber muzzleloaders, a Senko Super Shack, also a Senko Super Blind, a pair of Iverson snowshoes, and an Iverson landing net, and an Iverson Lodge furniture set. Also, one lucky hunter will win a full shoulder mount from Outdoor Ventures Taxidermy in Harvey. And last but not least, one of our entrants will win a full car makeover at Auto Armor of Marquette, and winners will be announced later in this program. Well, as we just saw, the largest buck brought to each dealership, the winner is awarded a Remington 30-06. And with me is our first winner tonight from Era Chevrolet in Norway, Scott Betters, a 10-pointer. It says here, 17.5-inch spread. Any story here?
Not a whole lot. I had 4 does come in, and they stuck around for a little while, and they walked out to the woods, and they started coming back in. There was 5 deer then. The back one was this one. I fired a shot, and he spun around, and he went back in the woods. And I sat there for a while. I didn't think he was this big. Then I went and tracked him. He ran about 40 yards, and I was pretty pleased when I walked up to him. I could see the rack sticking out of the grass. And
Yeah. What did he dress out at, Scott?
180.
180. Is that pretty good for a Menominee County buck? I know with that farm country,
Yeah.
they get some pretty good weights there.
That's pretty decent for Menominee County.
Well, I have to congratulate you on that. And coming here is Elwood Anderson of Era Chevrolet, and he has that 30-06 I was just talking about. Elwood?
Yeah, here you are, Scott. Congratulations, and good
Thank
luck
you.
next year when you go hunting.
All right. Well, let's give him a hand. Scott Betters. Thank you, Scott. Next, we have Edward Chevrolet right next door in Iron Mountain, and our winner is Mike Church. Mike, welcome to the UP Chevy Dealers Big Buck Bonanza. Thanks for coming up. 10-pointer. Look at the mass on that, huh?
Yeah, it's a rather nice symmetrical rack. I'm sure some of the people that are viewing here tonight are going to see much larger horns, but this is rather symmetrical, one of the nicer symmetrical bucks we've got out of our camp for some time.
What's your camp that you hunt out of?
Church's Camp, Florence County, and we've been doing quite well. In fact, I think this is the 3rd time we've been here in the last 4 years, Buck.
Well, you guys have been. That's right. I think I met your brother.
You have. And my father.
Yeah, I don't think there's hardly any deductions here at all. It's just about perfect.
He came out from behind me on the second day, traveling in that gate. That bucks are rather frisky, and he knew where he was going. And I saw the horns through a brief opening and took sort of a shot there before he hit the trail. That would have not let me have a shot, and fortunate enough to shoot through some brush and knock him down.
Well, like I say, he's got a lot of mass there. He's a pretty heavy set of antlers there.
Thank you.
What did he dress out at?
164.
164. Well, congratulations. And here is Dan Mahoney, and he's going to present your brand new rifle from Edward Chevrolet.
Mike, congratulations.
Thank you.
Add another one to the family collection there.
Thank you, we will.
All right, let's have a hand for Mike Church. Thank you, Mike. Well, next up, we're going to travel up to Lance and Kissel Chevrolet, and boy, I know some big bucks come from Baraga County. And here we have a 9-pointer and Glenn Soley. Welcome, Glenn. Thanks for coming. Well, what do we got here? Nice buck.
Thank you. A 9-point buck. I hunted till the day before Thanksgiving and seen a lot of does, but no horns. This one come in all by itself.
Was this the day before Thanksgiving?
Day before Thanksgiving, yeah.
I know on Thanksgiving Day, there's kind of this phenomena of Thanksgiving Day. I've seen a lot of big bucks taken on that day for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, I'm glad this one come in there, you know.
But no major story here.
No story. There was a lot of scrapes around there, and I shot a lot of small bucks, but every year that scrape been open, and I just kept on going back, and he finally come in.
Are you hunting Baraga County?
Yes.
And high country, swampy area. It looks like he's been in the swamp there.
It's a swamp by a beaver dam. It's really swampy there.
Yeah. And what did he dress out at?
175.
175. Now, why? Just out of curiosity, why would you register at for the Big Buck Bonanza?
Well, Brian Kissel talked me into it.
All right. Well, Brian's right here, and he's gonna present you with your 30-06 rifle, and I don't think you're gonna be too upset about that, are you, huh?
No.
Congratulations, Glenn, on the job well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, another happy hunter here. Thank you. Glenn Soley, Kissel Chevrolet. Well, we'll be back with more of the Upper Michigan Chevy Dealers Big Buck Bonanza, but first, here are the muzzleloader winners from the last 3 dealers drawn at random earlier today. Thank you. Welcome back to the Upper Michigan Chevy Dealers Big Buck Bonanza here at the Holiday Inn in Marquette. And up next, Jerry Weigold. Jerry? Jerry is one of a pair of hunters in Upper Michigan here that are tremendous hunters. And Brother Terry's won here quite a few times. And you guys, you do it every year, don't you?
Yeah, we do it every year, but it's a lot of scouting. I guess that's how we do it. And here's a horn I brought in the show that I did find 2 weeks before the rifle season started. And I was looking for the buck, and unfortunately I got him. But you can see how the horn matches right up to every tine. And the key on matching up the horns is you can see right here the brow tine is exactly the same. And we found several sheds, pairs of them over the years. I never did find the other shed, but I'm still looking.
Jerry, look at the growth between this year and the next year. It's tremendous growth.
Yeah. This buck here is a 5-year-old buck, and he jumped so much in 1 year, and they usually keep growing. Probably 3 more years he would have increased, so he would have really had a massive rack if he would have been able to make it. One like this, you always wish that. Well, you wish you could have let him go and get him in a few other years later, but that was a heavy rack.
Well, you work hard for these bucks, you and your brother.
Yeah. So, yeah, we do a lot of tracking. We basically we track them and run them down, and that's the basically way we get most of our trophies. So.
How much mileage was involved in this one?
I tell you, this one I got on the second day. It was there wasn't enough snow. There wasn't any snow, in fact, to really track them. So I just had to hunt the areas where I knew the bucks usually go through and where I thought he would be, where he would come through. It's kind of ironic, but I found this shed right where I usually sit every year within about 20 feet, and I sat right there again, and I shot the buck within 20 feet of where I found this shed. That's real unusual.
Well, your scouting begins, what, next week now for next year?
Yeah, right. We usually at the end of the season like this, I'll go and I'll see what's left for next year. And we leave a lot of bucks go. Last year I seen 14 bucks. This year I didn't hunt quite as much. I filled up right away, but we watch the bucks every year to see what's left for the next season. So.
Well, you got a 10-pointer as well, right?
Yeah, it was a 10, and it weighed 205. This weighed 232 dressed. So.
That's a big buck. And the other one you shot, you said was over 10 years old.
Yeah, it was an 11-year-old buck, and it was a real wide, heavy rack buck too, and it didn't look like the horns were going downhill too much, even at that age. But usually around 10, they start dropping off, and they'll go down the other way.
Well, here representing Fry Chevrolet is Al Peterson, and he's got a brand new 30-06 for you. What you going to do with this one now?
You know, I don't know. I've got one rifle that I use, and a 30-06 automatic, and I've shot so many bucks with it, I hate to put it away, and so I guess it'll be a dust collector, I guess.
Jerry, on behalf of myself, Fry Chevrolet, I'd like to present you with this rifle, and thank you for coming in and making this year's Big Buck Bonanza a success.
Well, thank you very much. I thank Fry Chevrolet for all the trouble they put in and for the rifle. But I'd like to, right now, thank my dad also, my dad, Hans Weigel, for giving me the ability and taking us in the woods, and my twin brother taking us both in the woods to show us all about buck hunting and to know what we know and how to get them. And that's why we've been successful over the years, and I want to thank him again. Thanks, Dad. So.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you. Jerry Weigold. What a story, huh? Well, up next, we travel to Escanaba and Coyne Chevrolet, and here with a beautiful 11-pointer is Wally Flatt. Congratulations, Wally.
Hi, Buck.
Glad you could make it.
Well, no trouble getting up here for this.
Well, a nice 11-pointer. What's the story here? Delta County buck?
Not really any story, Buck. I hunted in Menominee County for 13 days, and all I saw was button bucks and turkeys. So the last day of the season, I went out to my old farming country, and I shot this one at 5 o'clock the last day.
The last day, last minute, last day.
Last day, yeah. And then I got it registered the last minute, too. I only had 15 minutes to go, so I just found that out.
What, are you one of the president of the procrastinator club or what here?
No. Just lucky, I guess.
Yeah, well. Congratulations. What kind of a weight was on this buck, by the way?
This was about 170 pounds, and it was 2.5 years old.
2.5?
2.5 years old.
Look at the nutrition there, huh?
So
he was eating good.
Yep.
Well, congratulations, Wally. And here is Len Vader of Coyne Chevrolet with something I think you can use.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Len. And thank Coyne Chevrolet.
Thank you.
Okay. Wally Flatt, congratulations. Coyne Chevrolet in Escanaba. All right, now we're going to travel to one of my favorite spots, Crystal Falls, and Johnson Chevrolet and our winner, Don Kurtz Jr. And Don, he's ahead of all of us. He's even had it mounted already. So come on in, Don. This is a beautiful, beautiful Iron County buck. Congratulations there, big guy.
Thanks.
All right. Well, what kind of story here?
Well, that morning I seen 4 smaller bucks, and I got up to go in for a while and figured I'd take one last walk around the ridge there. And I was just walking through the hardwoods, and there was an old dead elm tree that was laying on the ground there. I looked at it, and at first it just looked like brush, you know, or branches coming out of the tree. And finally looked at it with the scope and noticed it was this guy.
Yeah.
And then he noticed me at the same time then, and he kind of stuck his neck up, and I just shot him while he was laying there. He didn't even get up, so. And I had to finish him off when I got there, but I was sure happy to get him, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, he's a dandy. Look at those brow tines, huh?
Yeah.
Deadly. And then an unusual split right there. But and the antlers almost touch at the tips there. Well, that's a really nice buck. Be interested to see how that scores. Did you have it aged?
No, people have told me it's about 4.5 years old, but.
Well, that's pretty good. Now, you had a cousin that got kind of a unusual deer this year, huh?
Yeah, my cousin Jody, she got that 5-legged doe.
That's really an oddity, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was the weirdest looking thing I ever saw. I mean, it really had a fifth leg.
Yeah, I had never actually seen it, but seen pictures.
Yeah, it was quite odd. Well, congratulations, and here is Ken Johnson of Johnson Chevrolet in Crystal Falls with something I'm sure you will just enjoy.
Congratulations, Don, on behalf of Ken Johnson Chevrolet and all those who registered in Crystal Falls.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations. Don Kurtz Jr. from Johnson Chevrolet in Crystal Falls. We'll have more big bucks and stories following these messages.